Alrighty folks, well, you know what I'm going to say.
I've been looking forward to this.
Any Gigantamax Pokemon I always look forward to because the XP and Stardust gains alone are well worth doing a load of these. Although I do quite like the design of Gigantamax Garbodor. I think it is rather ridiculous looking, especially with all the different things coming out of it. So yeah, would even like the shiny. The shiny right there I think is particularly nice. So let's get into this. Saturday, November 1st, 2 to 5 PM local time, Gigantamax Garbodor is going to be in those max battles. The Hundo, 1339 CP. That's what we're looking for. In terms of players, usually for these you want around 20 to 40 players. Obviously, some players are going to be more experienced, bring along better Pokemon, so you might be able to do it with less. You're going to be in teams of 4. Hopefully everyone's leveled up their Pokemon to at least level 40. And in those teams of 4, typically you're going to have 2 people focused on attacking, 1 defending, and 1 healing. And obviously talk to your teammates and discuss that. In terms of weaknesses, it is going to be weak to ground and psychic type attacks. So let's get into the attackers, then the defenders and the healers. But first, let's look at the moveset. In terms of the moveset, fast move is going to have access to infestation and takedown, and charge moves it'll have acid spray, seed bomb, gunk shot and body slam. Nothing too scary to worry about there, to be honest, besides perhaps gunk shot. As always with these types of battles, if you are struggling you can always re-lobby and this will mix up its moves. And just remember that from its charge move pool it's always going to take 2 attacks, one that cannot be dodged and is going to target everyone, and another charge move that is going to single out one particular Pokemon and do double damage, but this move can be dodged. So make sure when you have the warning signs above your head, swipe left or right in time and you're going to be able to dodge that powerful charge attack. Now let's talk attackers, and by far the best attacker is going to be Dynamax Alakazam. You might remember one of my prior videos where I said you definitely want to invest in Dynamax Alakazam. It is going to be a fantastic psychic type attacker, but it is also going to be very good against Gigantamax Garbodor. And that is because it has such a high attack and it can dish out those psychic type moves. It's going to be stronger than Dynamax Latios, for example. So if you have invested into one of these, it is going to be by far the best psychic type attacker. Remember, the fast move is always going to dictate the max move with Dynamax Pokemon. Typically, this is the Pokemon that you are going to swap into during the Dynamax phase. But sometimes you might stay in there and you might be charging the meter, so you definitely do want the fastest 0.5 fast move that you can have access to typically. And remember to level up that move to level 3 max attack. But if you don't have access to that Dynamax Alakazam, there's going to be other options. Dynamax Latios, of course, as we can see there. Metagross, as we can see, also is going to be a fantastic pick. Has access to Zen Headbutt. Unfortunately, it has to have that so it can use Max Mindstorm. Otherwise, you could have given it something like maybe Shadow Claw, which is a faster attack. But what we want is obviously a psychic type attack there for the Dynamax phase. Another solid option is going to be Dynamax Excadrill, which you're going to have access to if you've done the lead up time research, which gives you a Dynamax Drillbur, which you can then evolve up obviously and invest in. Hatterene could be another pick, but just bear in mind that is going to be weak to poison type attacks from the Gigantamax Garbodor. So obviously your best bet is going to be the Alakazam, the Latios, the Metagross and the Excadrill as attackers. Now let's talk defenders. A lot of these are going to resist the attacks of Gigantamax Garbodor. Some of these defenders doubling up as healers as well. By far the number one choice is going to be Crowned Zamazenta, and what I love about this Pokemon is that it's going to come in with a shield, an amazing all-round defender. One which you definitely want to invest in if you have access to it, and definitely give it level 3 max guard. Well, you should be doing that anyway, no matter what defender you're bringing in. As we can see, there's going to be other options there available as well. Typically with defenders, you are charging the meter, soaking damage, and then depending on your role, you're either staying in and bringing up those shields, or you're going to be swapping into your attacker or healer during the Dynamax and Gigantamax phase. And obviously to build the meter as fast as possible, you want a 0.5 fast move. For example, that's why this time, as you can see, the Metagross there coming in at number 3 is going to have a fast move of Shadow Claw. That is a 0.5 fast move. That is going to help you build the meter up as fast as possible. But yeah, a number of different options there, as you can see. Gengar and Duraludon on the side as well, because even those could be used as good defenders. But of course, at number 1, Crowned Zamazenta. Blissey, as always, a fantastic defender as well, and doubling up as a fantastic healer. So always you want to invest in a Blissey if you can and bring it along to these types of battles. You're never going to regret it. It is always going to be an amazing defender and amazing healer. So of course, if you can, bring along Crown Zamazenta as a defender, but you are going to have other options there if you don't have that. And then we can briefly talk about healers. And this is why I always say invest in a Blissey if you can, if you are serious about Dynamax and Gigantamax battles, because Blissey is by far going to be the number 1 healer, a huge health pool, a fantastic defender anyway, so literally it doubles up as both. But if you don't have a Blissey, maybe you have access to Gigantamax Snorlax or Lapras or the Dynamax Wellord. Things that have a large health pool are obviously going to be the best healers, but really you just want Dynamax Blissey. Try and get a good one, max it out if you can, or at least level 40, give it level 3 max heals, give it level 3 max defense. And then here's some examples of team comps. Typically you're going to bring along a defender or healer, and then an attacker. And then during the Dynamax and Gigantamax phase, you're going to stay in with maybe your defender, throw up shields, stay in with the healer, throw out heals, or you're going to swap into your attacker and throw out the max attack or G-max move. Obviously talk to your teammates. Do you need healing in your squad of 4? Do you need people to throw out shields? Maybe the boss is almost dead, so you might as well all just throw out attacks to finish it off. That's why communication is obviously key during these big fights. But usually you're going to be staying in with your defender, swapping into your attacker to dish out the damage, charging up with your tankier option. And obviously you can bring along 2 of the same Pokemon as well, right? It doesn't have to be different ones. For example, you see there 2 Metagrosses working as the defender, helping you charge the meter up, and then you're swapping into the Excadrill to dish out those level 3 max attacks. The top team, you're defending with the Zamazenta, defending or maybe healing with the Blissey, charging up the meter, swapping into Alakazam to dish out those level 3 attacks. Or maybe you're staying in with the defender to throw up shields, or staying in with the Blissey to throw out heals. And don't forget about items and adventure effects, can be particularly helpful, especially if your team is struggling or you have less players. Max Mushrooms are going to be premium items, but if you have access to them, will double the damage of your Dynamax and Gigantamax Pokemon for 30 minutes. And adventure effects, such as the one from Eternatus, are also very helpful, raising the level of your max move by 1. So if this is 3, it's going to raise it to 4. Very useful indeed. Good luck to everyone doing these battles. Once again, these are well worth it just for the XP and Stardust gains alone. Hopefully one of us gets a hundo or a shiny A. Please slap the like button, as it massively helps with the YouTube algorithm nonsense. If you're new, please consider subscribing. And please, everyone, as always, take care, and catch you all in the next one.